Martin, on the footballing front, sure, heroic penalty shootout performance from Aston Villa's and Argentina's Emiliano Martínez. What about his antics during the shootout? He was dancing after saving penalties, throwing the ball away. McElhenney had to go and retrieve it before he stepped up. He's just a kid and he misses. I mean, even when he was presented with the Golden Glove Award, did you see what he did? He took part in a somewhat lewd gesture with the Golden Glove Award, holding it to his groin.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that. I would say this, though, that the minute they lost the toss for which end those penalties were taken, they'd lost it, France. Because they had to go, didn't they, and take the penalties at the Argentinian end. Yeah. And having experienced... Look, I've played in a UEFA Cup final where that happened, Galatasaray. We lost the toss. It was unbelievable trying to take a penalty for our lads who missed that night in that end. It was really, it's much more difficult, which we don't even factor in, by the way. But if you've been there, it's difficult, doubly difficult.
Do you think that makes it incumbent upon a referee? Because I thought Buendia's actions and outbursts, I thought it was cheating. I thought the holding of the ball, the Martínez, sorry, the goalkeeper's actions were. I don't think it's gamesmanship. I don't think it's part of the game. I think it's cheating. And do you not think, with that in mind, because you've spoken about something that's very relevant, which is the added advantage of kicking for Argentina to their own fans and disadvantage for the French, for a referee to allow the goalkeeper to manipulate the circumstances to heighten the pressure to increase it, I think was one of the shortcomings in that moment in time.
It was, and we talk about the referee, but there'll be other referees sitting at home today saying, well, who was owning that shootout, that penalty shootout?
The referee should have had the ball.
It was the keeper. Martínez. Yeah. It was his territory. It was being danced to his tune.
I mean, what do you think of when a player behaves like that?
The referee should have had the ball at all times. For the goalkeeper to have the ball and then throw it away is ridiculous.
Should he have been booked? Should he have been spoken to?
Of course,
what should have
he should have
happened?
been booked straight away. I think he gave him a warning after that. I think he should have booked him. I think out of camera he booked the referee. Sometimes the producers weren't on it, Jim, when it came to following referees in games. That wouldn't have been the first game where that happened. It's difficult if you're commentating on it, let me tell you. But nonetheless, I think the referee, that was just let himself down a little bit there. And, it would have been very interesting, wouldn't it?
So he's a World Cup winner, but was it unprofessional of Martínez?
It was, because I think he pushed the boundaries too far. And he was controlling it, and he made it very difficult. The referee seemed to be out of control at that point.
You, as a former footballer that can speak to it far more compelling than I can, do you think it's something the referee should say to goalkeepers before a penalty shootout? I'm having none of this. You're not getting the ball. I want none of your nonsense on the line. This is a moment where it's sportsman against sportsman, not sportsman against psychological advantage. Yeah. Do you think that's something referees could do in that situation?
Definitely.
That?
I think they were briefed, weren't they, the referees in this competition, about the England team were quite physical from set pieces, so they were having an extra look at our players. So they'd already been in a penalty shootout against Netherlands, and actually it all went off in that game. There was a mini riot, two of them, where Paredes smashed the ball into the dugout. And then there was an issue after the penalties where the Dutch players were accused of goading one of the penalty takers, and then they did the same when they scored, the Argentinian team, and it all went off, Jim. So, maybe there was a bit of a record coming into that game, and maybe it was just on the moment the referee should have taken more control of it. But Martínez, if you're an Argentinian fan, you're loving what he's doing, because he's the dominant force, and he's putting his opponent off. And
what if you're one of the Argentinian players, Martin? Would you be applauding him for what he did?
Well, of course, he's a national hero today.
No, but I mean, if you're one of those players, if you're a teammate of Martínez back in the dressing room, are you saying to him, well done?
Yeah, because he's got to do whatever he can. The penalty taker should have the advantage.
No, but we're saying that he went too far. And he shouldn't really do whatever he did.
I think he went too far.
I mean, the thing with the Golden Glove, that was ridiculous.
I think what he did with the trophy afterwards was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. But what he did on the pitch remains... I mean, unless the referee's going to stop him, he's going to do whatever he wants. And it was the referee that made the mistake.
It's incumbent on the referee. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Having said that, winners and losers, Martin, and he ended up winning. That's it.
But also, as well, you have to say, I do feel he's an outstanding goalkeeper that was allowed to leave Arsenal.
He was magnificent.
And he makes a save in the dying seconds of the match with his left foot, which was absolutely out of this world.
Yeah. And that's what I prepared to remember Martínez from the game yesterday. That kind of moment, as opposed to the antics.
Nobody in Argentina is going to be worrying about antics in front of the referee.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's down to the referee to stamp that out.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think it would be very popular this morning, Simon, mentioning that in the main square at Buenos Aires.
No, I think
I think your goalkeeper maybe. All right, okay, I'll shut myself down now.